Hi, I'm Emily Tworek, and I was the wardrobe supervisor / costume designer on Last Train to Brooklyn. I've been interested in costume design and sort of fashion design for a long time. I was that kid who watched Project Runway as a kid pretty religiously, and got my first chance to actually costume design in college. I worked in a costume shop for many years, and there got a chance to work on a lot of productions, especially a lot of shows with a lot of 60s and 70s influence. So got very familiar with that time period, those styles, and really just kind of fell in love with the period and all the fashion there. So when the opportunity came around to work on Last Train to Brooklyn, I was like, hey, Linny, do you need someone to do costumes for this? What would it be like to create a band of this era, of this kind of 70s influence, but brought into the modern age? And how can we make them really shine? So there were a lot of different influences for the band as a whole, but mostly each of the characters had a couple specific influences for their individual character. That process is mainly working with each individual player, each individual actor to find parallels to their character in those sort of 60s and 70s rock bands of the era. So while the band itself was sort of a motley of these different groups, each individual character was a mix of at least two rock icons from that era. So Cockerel, for example, was a blend of kind of Freddie Mercury and David Bowie. The Hound was Stevie Nicks mixed with a little bit of Bob Dylan. Cat was inspired by Brian May from Queen and Paul McCartney from the Beatles, and then Mule was inspired by Jimi Hendrix and John Lennon. So using those influences combined with the players' individual styles and what they had in their closet, what they had access to, we were able to curate really individualized looks that echoed these rock stars really strongly, but still brought these characters to life in a really individual way. Footwear is a huge concern because we were walking around for maybe 2-3 miles in New York City, but also having to be able to keep your balance on a train and move a lot. If you're going to be carrying 2 guitar cases, we couldn't really do a lot of bags. So finding something that felt like the player, felt like the character, but logistically also just made sense. And having one outfit that would work the entire time was really, really a strong concern too. Cat's look really stem from the idea of the character as the manager, the one with kind of their hands in everybody's business, and Cat as sort of the only predator or the only good carnivore of the bunch too. Also has little bits of the other characters in their costume. There was a little feather necklace that Linny wore to signify the cockerel, and then a leather jacket to signify the mule. The last little detail that I was really proud of is that the boots that they wore for the actual game were this copper color. And this was not initially planned, but each of the characters had a nickname besides their actual character. So while Cat was Beans in the game, their character name is officially Cat, Hound is officially Hound, their character's nickname, Copper. Knowing the relationship between Cat and Hound makes having their boots copper colored even sweeter. I am just at Emily Tworek across social platforms, but I mainly work with Twice Rolled Tales. Wow, we're here. Yeah, check us out at Twice Rolled Tales all across social platforms. Watch Last Train to Brooklyn, now on YouTube.